For most of us, it sounds like being wealthy and being rich is pretty much the same thing. Both mean that you have a lot of money, but experts say that there's a big difference between the two concepts and that one is much better than the other. This is why the goal is to be wealthy, not rich. Please hit the like button if you enjoy this video and subscribe to our channel and turn notifications on. That way you can keep update with everything we post. What it means to be rich. This is not about the cash you have to spend. Rich people have a lot of cash, but most of the time, not a lot of assets. People that are rich spend a lot of money, so they might be getting a massive paycheck each month, but if anything happens and the regular amounts don't come in, then they'll have a big problem. They don't have a lot to fall back on. Rich means, for example, having a large income, but using pretty much all of it. What it means to be wealthy. This means more than having just a lot of cash money. It's more than just having lots of money that can meet all your needs. It has an added layer of having assets, and if you don't choose to do or for some reason can't work anymore, then you would have to use your assets to work for you. So it could mean having a large savings to fall back on, or having investments or real estate that you could still use if something changes with your monthly liquid income. So what is the difference? There's more to it than just how much someone has in their bank account at any time. It is possible for someone that makes less money to be wealthier than a person that makes a lot. A rich person is easier to spot with massive houses, the latest fashions, and all the latest gadgets and cars. But a wealthier person uses his money wiser and thinks before they spend all their money on something that might just be the latest fad. It's more about spending money wisely and spending it on things that are thought out and where you might get more back from where you put in. Being rich doesn't mean that you're happy. Most of us know that being rich doesn't buy you happiness. Buying everything that your heart's desire doesn't always work to satisfy you. So being rich won't make you happier than being wealthy, and it might add extra stress to your life that you don't really need. Being wealthy gives you the option and the freedom to spend your time in any way that you want to, and since you don't have to worry about paying a lot of unnecessary cost, it also cuts down your stress levels even more. Many people go broke while being rich. There are many cautionary tales of rich people, like celebrities that have made massive amounts of money and built incredible fortunes, just to live way beyond their means and blow it all on all sorts of expensive toys and homes that they just couldn't afford. Then there's also all the costs that comes with massive fortunes, like paying tax on it might not be considered. It's easy to spend a lot of money on loads of things when you have it. The difficulty comes in stopping yourself from spending that much. So that has led to many previously super rich people dropping right from being super rich right into bankruptcy. Not a fun place to be. Being wealthy isn't just about the sacrifice. Being wealthy or becoming wealthy doesn't mean that you have to save every penny and never spend a dime. It isn't about being cheap. It's more about making sure what would really bring you joy and happiness and what won't. Experts say that spending money on expenses rather than on material goods brings more joy and sustainable happiness. So a wealthy person doesn't just save their money, but instead of buying the newest and most expensive phone on the market, they would rather spend money on an experience, like going on a trip, doing a class, or going to a shower or the theater. Using your money to create memories creates more lasting joy than just buying more stuff. So how do you become wealthy? According to many experts, becoming wealthy isn't even possible if you don't have the biggest paycheck ever. And most of us all don't try to make money through some get-rich-quick schemes that promise you the world but can't deliver. It's all about your habits and your priorities. Save, save, save. No matter how little you make each month, the first step to becoming wealthy is to save at least a little part of each month. Saving 10 to 15% of your paycheck will put you on the road to building your wealth. There are many different savings challenges that can help you save if you need it, and to help you avoid spending this money, you could set up different bank accounts. Then the amount you decide on can be paid directly into your savings account. Not having direct access to this money will help make sure that you don't spend it on unneeded things, and it'll make it easier to save in each month because you aren't used to having those funds available to you in the first place. Pay off your debt. A wealthy person is a person without any debts. So besides savings, you need to start paying off your debts as soon as possible, and starting with the highest interest loans is the best way to go. Higher interest loans, for example, credit card loans, push up your monthly cost. The more you spend each month, the harder it will be to save or to spend money on investments that can build your wealth. Invest. Start to invest as soon and as much as you can. It's the best way to grow your wealth as quickly as possible. By investing as much money as you can, you get it to start working for you. Of course, investing can be challenging and more than a little bit daunting. There are so many options to invest in that it becomes a little bit scary. Many different investments come with many different risks, but there are people and institutions that can help you learn the ropes of investments until you know which investments are good ideas for you. Or you could buy physical investments and start your portfolio that way. Even if you only get a high yield savings account and start to grow your investments there, then you can build it until you have enough to invest in whatever it is of interest to you and your lifestyle. Live in your means. If it is at all possible, then try to live as far below your means as possible. So don't splurge on too many unnecessary big ticket items. Again, this doesn't mean you can never buy anything, but instead of playing with the latest phone, buy an older version. That could work just as well. Or if you buy clothing, Buy a cheaper brand instead of buying designer clothing. Buy the things that you really need, but also make sure to buy things that will keep their value as long as possible. Sometimes buying something that's too cheap works out expensive too, because if you need to replace it over and over and over, it becomes more expensive in the long run. Long-term goals. Becoming wealthy does not happen overnight. It can take a long time to get where you want to be, but that's why you need to make sure that you have long-term goals that you can achieve piece by piece. It will help you get motivated, and it can help you when it gets hard to stick to your plan. Make sure your plans are well thought out and attainable. It could be as simple as having a certain amount saved by a certain age, or be as elaborate as having a number of properties that are owned in a certain time frame. Be realistic and make sure that you work as hard as possible to achieve these goals. Have the correct mindset. Having the right mindset to build your wealth is important. It's easy to be rich, and many times it doesn't last. Becoming wealthy is harder, but it's much more rewarding and it lasts much longer. But you need to have the right mindset to achieve it. It's all about the future. Building wealth is really about you in the present doing a favor to you for the future. By curbing your spending now, you're helping to build a future where you can live comfortably, the people around you. Like all things in life, it's important to surround yourself with people that are a good influence on you and who help you to build your wealth. So it's important to make sure that the people around you inspire you and help you to reach your goals instead of hindering your progress. Having a mindset that will help you reach your goals of achieving wealth doesn't just happen. Your friends and the circle of people affect your mindset. So it's important to assess the people you hang out with and make sure that they build you up and inspire you. Building wealth can depend on your own experiences and your connections. So make sure that people around you help your progress and don't hinder it. Focus on bettering yourself. People can get rich for all sorts of reasons, and not all of them are for being accomplished people or very talented. But being wealthy takes more work and dedication, and it all starts with building habits that can help you build your wealth and lifestyle that you want. There are many theories out there where articles speak about successful people getting up at 4 a.m. and working out or reading X amount of books. But for the most of us, that just isn't sustainable. I wouldn't be able to keep doing it forever. So start with easy habits, and when you can keep it up, and work on another one. To really become wealthy and not rich, it's important to try to keep learning and always improving and getting better. Being wealthy is much better than being rich. Thanks for watching.